Hey loves, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day today. Today I want to discuss the topic in manifestation when it comes to worrying about how or when our manifestation is going to come in. And there's actually a really easy way to get around that. And I'll explain it in this video, and I think you guys are absolutely going to love it. So quick background on this idea. So remember that 100, I tried to form 100% in with my hands. It's not going to go well, so I'm not going to do it. But 100% of all your worries, all your fears, all of your anxieties, all of those bad negative thoughts, 100% of them are always going to come from how or when your manifestation is going to happen, right? Thinking about the how or when is the cause and the reason we have all of these negative thoughts. But there's a way to actually think about it, like I mentioned, that's going to completely remove this fear and completely, you're going to get rid of it completely, and you're never going to have to worry about how or when. And the trick is, because right now, whatever state we're in, we only want to reiterate that. So right now, and I'll give you a really good example of it, right now, if we are coming from a state of feeling single with our specific person, whatever the how or when, we're not going to know it coming from that state. We first have to switch over to the state of being with our specific person, and then we're going to be told, then we're going to know, we're going to receive that inspired action of exactly how to get there, how to manifest, how to bring our specific person to us in the best possible way. And I have a really cool metaphor that I think is going to make it all kind of connect like a puzzle and fit perfectly. Because right now you're probably thinking, well, Kyle, that's great. What does this mean? How do I actually implement this? You said there's this cool idea. So where is it? But the trick is, so I want you to imagine, and I'm going to keep this math really simple. We got to do math today. I know you probably weren't excited to do math in this video, but this is going to be fun math. So let's say you make right now $100 an hour. You make $100 for every hour that you work. That's awesome. That's fantastic, right? You're living large, you're having fun, you're enjoying yourself. But let's say, because you're living in such an abundance, you want to get and become even better. You want to make $100,000 a month, okay? That's a great goal. I absolutely love that goal. But when we're coming from the state of being or making $100 an hour, what's our first thought going to be to make the $100,000 a month? We're going to be like, well, since I already make so much work in hourly, I'll just work more, right? We're like, okay, let me just work more. But, and this is where the math comes in, if you guys don't know, there's not 1,000 hours in a month that we would need to make $100,000 in a month working for $100 an hour. See where I'm going with this? Because we would need 250 hours a week, and there's only 168 hours in a week. So this is impossible. But think of if we never left that state and we just tried really hard. We're like, I'm going to work extra hard. I'm going to work every single hour of the day. I'm not even going to sleep, not even going to eat. At the end of the first week, you would be 100 hours short of what your goal was. How frustrating, how worrisome, how much anxiety would begin flowing into your reality. You would think, is this even possible? I can't even do it. Like, I'm hopeless. I should just give up now. But that's the way we think when it comes to our specific person manifestation. We're trying to take inspired action from a state of being the $100 an hour or the state of being single, right? We're never going to know. We're never going to be given the knowledge of how to manifest our specific person or make $100,000 in a month coming from a state that does not align with that. So right now, if you're worrying about how or when your manifestation is going to come into, you can completely get rid of it. Because in this state, so in the state of $100 an hour or the state of being single, we can't trust that inspired action, right? That inspired action is not going to get us to that end state. It's only when we first assume or get into the state of the wish fulfilled that then that inspired action comes funneling to us, and then we're able to take the action. Because remember, inspired action, I'll make a whole video on inspired action if I need to, but inspired action comes automatically. You don't have to think about it. When you're in the state, let's say you're in the state of $100,000 a month, right? Before this point, making that or trying to again get $100,000 a month, making $100 an hour, that seems impossible. It's literally impossible. We already did the math. But as you begin to assume the state of someone who makes, or you're feeling as if getting into the mind of someone who makes $100,000 a month, and then going, okay, well, what would I do to do that? And it's like you could do a whole host of different things. You could sell a digital product, start your own clothing store. You could increase a business revenue by $1 million and take 10% of it, right? It's like, I know I'm making it sound really, really simple and easy, but it's like when we're in that state, all of those things are going to come to you without any effort. When you're habitually, naturally in that state, that's the thoughts you're going to have. That's the inspired action that's going to come in. So right now, like I mentioned, if we're worried about how or when our manifestation is going to show up, it makes no sense, right? We're not going to be given that before assuming the state of exactly what we want. So right now, just take time, really think about, okay, when I'm worrying about the how or when, what is it that I'm actually worrying about? Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? Is it confusing? Is it easy? All of those questions are going to be, okay, am I coming from the state or am I not? And I know this seems like such a simple idea, or it makes it seem so much easier, right? Because it's like, okay, why worry about something that doesn't even make any sense, right? Because worrying about the how or when now doesn't make any sense because we can't achieve it. Trying to work 250 hours a week when there's only 168 hours in a week doesn't make sense. No one would even attempt that. Now that you know that, if you started making $100 an hour today and you want to make $100,000 a month, you would instantly be like, okay, well, I'm not going to do what I've been doing because what I'm doing right now only leads to more of what I'm already in. And that's actually, to be honest, what I usually see when someone begins manifestation, right? They begin to just do and perform all the actions they think would get us there or get them to that goal, but only coming from the state that they're in at the current moment. But that's only going to reiterate the same thing that's been happening over and over again in their life, because your body, your mind, your state wants to remain the same, right? It wants to stay where it's at because it knows, here I'm safe, here I am abundant. Well, maybe not abundant, but here I'm safe. I guess safe is the best word to do it. And when you're feeling safe, you don't really want to change stuff, because if you go into the unknown, how fearful is it technically to move from your old state into an unknown state? Because as we begin to move, we don't know what's going to happen in that state, right? A whole host of different things. Obviously, logically, intuitively, we know it must be better, right? We know in order to get the perfect love, we need to feel loving, feel abundant, feel positive. Like, it's pretty obvious, but our feelings and internal state, our subconscious, kind of can refuse us or kind of work against us. So anytime, any point from this, now watching this video, from here on out, anytime you begin to worry about how or when, just completely let it go, because you don't have to know about that until you're completely in the state, and then it's going to be given to you automatically. So it's still not something that you have to think or kind of ponder in that way. Because let's say you do want to make $100,000 a month. In that case, all I would do is focus on actually feeling as if you already have it, and then just follow your intuition. Let yourself be guided to the exact outcome, whatever outcome you're feeling or whatever action you want to take in that moment. But hopefully this idea helps you guys out. Sorry, I've been kind of away from YouTube for a little bit. I still make videos on TikTok all the time, but I wanted to get back into making daily YouTube videos because I want to make a huge impact and help you guys manifest your specific person in the quickest and easiest way possible. So if you did have any questions on it, just leave it in the comments section below. Also, remember, you can reach out to me on my website, which is kyleaugustcoaching.com, if you did want to send me a personal question or just wanted to sign up for one-on-one coaching where we work together to manifest your specific person. So as always, leave a thumbs up on this video if you really enjoyed it, and then don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video in the future. But thank you guys so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you in the next video.